Read your cards carefully. He's knocked out. Colorless, Dragon. The Middle Era is 2002 to 2013.
Fighting.
Sound it out.
Psychic.
The Pre-Modern Era is 2013 to 20. You must immediately advance.
Is 2020 to present.
Alright, let's get started.
Hi, I'm Neil.
I'm Katie.
And we are Higher Education. Hey, this is Neil. Wanted to make a video to go over very basic deck composition. So this is not going to teach you how to build a world championship deck or anything. This is, I want to start playing and have a bunch of cards and I have no idea how many to even put together to make a deck that's playable. So that's what we're going to talk about very briefly here today. So as you guys know, the Pokemon trading card game simulates a battle between two trainers, and Pokemon and items are used similar to the way that they are in the video games and in the TV show. There are three categories of cards, and all three are important to playing the game. There are Pokemon cards, trainer cards, and energy cards. There are three rules that must be followed when you're trying to build a playable deck. Rule number one, your deck must have exactly 60 cards. It can't have 59, it can't have 61. It must be exactly 60 cards. You must have at least one basic Pokemon, and you can't have more than 4 cards with the same name. Good beginning ratios of cards are shown here. It's about 18 to 24 Pokemon, 20 to 30 trainer cards, and about 10 to 20 energy in a deck. Typically, what we use is one of these three ratios. So we initially started, and I think a really good place for beginners to start is 20, 20, 20. 20 Pokemon, 20 trainers, 20 energy. We shifted a little later on towards more of 22 Pokemon, 20 trainers, and 18 energy. And that's partly because we really like to use evolution cards, and especially stage 2s, so you need whole families, which take more cards. But lately, what we have settled on is 20 Pokemon, 25 trainers, and 15 energy. Really using trainers to cycle our energy through and allowing us to have a greater variety of trainer cards available. But if you do want some idea of what competitive decks do and how they're built, if you look at the Players' Cup 4 decks from 2021, the median composition was shown here. So if you look at all of their deck compositions, the number of Pokemon cards, the number of trainer cards, and the number of energy cards, this was the median. So 18 Pokemon, 32 trainers, and 10 energy. And this is partly a reflection of the fact that most competitive decks rely primarily on strong basic Pokemon, like rulebox Pokemon, such as Pokemon V, and they plan for games that go for short number of turns, 5 to 10 turns max. So having a low number of energy cards with a modest ability to recycle those energy cards isn't a disadvantage for very short games. So what about Pokemon cards? Well, it's probably a good idea to have at least 10 basics in your deck. Because you need to have a basic in your opening 7-card hand, it makes sense to have 1 out of every 6 cards in the deck be a basic. Otherwise, you'll often take mulligans at the beginning of a game. You need to use evolution cards in families. You can't play a later stage evolution card without the lower stages below it. So if you're building a family that has up to stage 2s, it's a good idea to build them in tiers, such as 3 basics, 2 stage 1s, and 1 stage 2, or 4 basics, 3 stage 1s, and 2 stage 2s. This gives you a better chance of being able to play the evolution cards if your lower stage cards are knocked out or discarded earlier in the game. Trainer cards are very important in gameplay and serve a lot of functions. It's a good idea to limit supporters to 10 cards or less. Again, because you can only play 1 supporter per turn, you'll see a lot of competitive decks play very few supporters because they intend for games to go for short numbers of turns. It's good to have trainers that have varied effects depending on the situations that arise, but search and draw cards that allow you to go into the deck and find specific things that you need, be they other trainers, Pokemon, or energy, tend to be the most important. Energy cards are key in order to be able to attack and knock out your opponent's Pokemon. It's a good idea to have a mixture of basic and special energy depending on the other cards that you're playing in your deck. It's difficult to have more than 2 or 3 types of energy cards in your deck because it can be hard to unlock your Pokemon's attacks. If there are a lot of different types of energy cards in your deck, you have a lower chance of drawing the specific ones that you need. It's also really important to make sure that the energy cards you place in your deck match up with the Pokemon that you're using. For example, while double colorless energy is a great card, some cards don't use any colorless energy at all. So for those Pokemon, attaching a double colorless energy is essentially useless except to perhaps retreat. In summary, your deck needs to be comprised of a relatively even mixture of Pokemon trainer cards and energy cards for success. Competitive decks tend to be more trainer heavy and more energy light. A good starting mixture is 20, 20, and 20, or 20 Pokemon, 25 trainers, and about 15 energy cards. So this is what you need to know to take that pile of cards that you have and start building decks that you can play with. Thanks.
Hi, and thank you for watching our video. We are Higher Education.
Play, learn.
Read your cards carefully. He's knocked out.
Colorless to 2000
Dragon. The middle
Fairy.
era is 2002 to 2013. Good game.